split, talking on the net, but no, he ain't on shit. Rest in peace, sliding with the dogs, I'll put him on the shit.
Hey guys, long time no Dean. So I am starting to do vlogs for you guys. Here's the setup. Got the my shorty bought me this. Me personally, I vibe the most with Naruto because he was not good at shit, but he always believed in himself, and he became the best person he possibly could. And that's how I view myself. That's how I got this far. And we got the Mac, Yamaha AD 2020. I think that's the mic that I use. It is a compression mic. If you like crispy vocals, that's what you should use. That's what I use. I asked you guys to ask me some questions, and I wanted to start doing these for you. So here's the first question that we have. I had to write these down because they're in my phone, but I'm using this to record. So what got me into music? My grandma. My grandma's actually the one who got me into all of this shit because she had me in orchestra. I played the string bass. I started off with classical music and then moved to jazz. And then I got recommended for the Missoula Youth Choir. That's where I grew up because I got taken away from my mom and my dad was in prison when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old. So I grew up with my grandparents for a while. And then Missoula Youth Choir. And then I think 11 or 12 years old, I stepped in my first studio. That was with Casa Negra. That means black house in Spanish, well, in English from Spanish. And that's what really got me into it. I just fell in love with the emotion behind the music, just how it made you feel, like heard, like just feeling alone when I was with people because Missoula, there's not a lot of colored people. My grandparents are white, uncle's white, dad's white. I'm part white. I'm Polish and Mexican, Norwegian, just a bunch of shit, but I look more Mexican. So my sister was with me and she was also brown, but I just felt really lonely, like I didn't fit in, over there. Not everyone was a bad person over there. Like I have a lot of friends who are white, but it's just, you know how it is wanting to be where you fit in when you're a kid, You just want to be like everyone else, I guess, or at least look like everybody else, like being a brown kid in a more majority white school, besides my sister, and a few other people who are my friends. But that's what got me into music, was just how it made me feel. I didn't feel so alone. And that shit, it stuck with me, it really piqued my interest. When I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody else, I could go to music. And I just, even though I didn't say anything to music, it just felt like it listened, or I listened, It's just a lot deeper than just the music. But the next question, I guess I already answered the next question. Where did I grow up? I was born in Billings, the city of meth. But I was born in Billings, got taken away from my mom when she wasn't doing too well, and then raised in Missoula until I was about 13 years old, so about 10 years there. And then I came back to Billings for my high school years till now. I went to Billings Senior High. That shit was crazy. Honestly, so many colored people, I fucking loved it. I was like, my people, it was great. But honestly, I'm glad I grew up in both because the culture here is a lot different it's a lot more laid back in Missoula. It's a lot more just chill, like everybody smokes weed, everybody just chills. Here on 10, 90% of the time, people are just trying to squabble up. People are trying to get funk, you feel me? Like they really just, it's a different environment here, but I like it. I like, it got that dog in me, you feel me? Brought that dog out in me. But yeah, that's where I grew up. In Montana, Missoula, and then Billings. And then the next question, is it stressful doing what I do? I feel like you're probably busy. Also, how do you deal with that stress? Cuddy is stressful as fuck. So I'm my own manager as of right now, and that means I book my own shows. I talk to other agents. I talk to A&Rs. I make sure I get paid. I make sure my people get paid. I talk to my fans, manage my socials, everything like that. It is stressful as fuck. It is like a 24-hour job. You know, I've had some of my fans hit me up at like 1 a.m. saying they want to kill themselves, and I'll stay up and I'll talk to them because I love you guys. Every single one of you guys matters. And it's not because you guys just make all these opportunities possible. I genuinely love you guys because you take the time to talk to me. You take the time to listen to these videos, to listen to my thoughts, and you apply them to your own. You know, you guys mean so much to me. So yeah, it's pretty stressful just being an artist because it's a lot deeper than the music. Like if you're an artist, you got to be a content creator, your own manager, your own booking agent, your own everything. You know, it's a lot deeper than just music, but that shit takes a minute to start managing. You know, I didn't start doing it until this last year, taking it seriously, but holy fuck, that shit is crazy, dog. And how do I deal with that stress? It depends on the level. There's some days I've been so stressed out, I literally lay on the floor and I throw my phone. Y'all, that bitch. You feel me? Like I'm Devin Booker. You feel me? Like fucking Steph Curry. Swish that bitch. And then I just lay there on the floor. You know? And then there's some days where I meditate. You know, like when I get angry, I'm like, why am I angry? Or when I get sad, why am I sad? When I get stressed, why am I stressed? And I identify the problem, because if you can sit there and identify the reason why something makes you feel that way, you are halfway to understanding and figuring out what that is and how to process it, how to figure it out. You know, you're halfway there if you can identify what it is. And then I'll let the energy flow, because everything is energy. The law of divine oneness, everything is connected. You are connected to every single thing, you know? Study your laws of the universe if you want to understand that. I'm not going to get into that right now, but, or I'll go to the gym and I'll work out. I do calisthenics and shit like that. Or I'll just make some music, obviously, you know? Just get in the booth. But it's a lot of healthy choices, because I used to deal with it not healthy at all. I used to hurt people. I used to rob people. I used to do drugs. Not even like hard drugs, you know, like I just smoke weed and shit. But like what smoking weed does, it floods your brain with dopamine, and then it overstimulates your mind, and then your mind stops producing natural dopamine, which makes you have mood swings and shit. And I'm bipolar, so I already have a chemical imbalance inside of my brain, so that is not a good idea. I used to do everything wrong, but now that I've prioritized my mental health and I prioritize my physical health, I am fucking thriving. You know, like I still have manic episodes and shit, but it's a lot less often and a lot more manageable now that I have taken it more seriously. You know, that's your body's your temple. You need whatever you put into it is what you will see out of it, you know? Like take that from this video. Take it from someone who fucked up constantly. Choose strength, choose peace, choose everything over all of that other shit, because it might make you feel good right then and there, but later you will feel fucking terrible. Don't do it. Brother, don't do it, brother. Oh, fuck. But that's how I deal with it. Choose healthy options. Work out, meditate, process your emotions, because if you just stuff it down deep, it'll come out one day and you'll just be a fucking menace. Don't be a menace. Like, there's a time and place for everything, but just try not to, you know? It's better to choose yourself other than drugs and shit, you know? And then the last question, how do you deal with your inner self-recollection, like finding one's purpose? This is all relative. Relative means to each their own, essentially, you know? Inner self-recollection. I make myself uncomfortable, and this has a lot to do with meditation. I find things that bother me about myself, because you're not supposed to be alone and fucking hate yourself. You know, you can hate aspects of what you've done about yourself, but you should not just hate yourself, because you are the narrator of your own story, which means you have the power to change everything with what you do right now, you know? So find things that make you uncomfortable. Why am I angry all the time? Why am I depressed all the time? Why do I slip my wrists? Why do I watch things I'm not supposed to? Why am I short with people? You know, like why do I crash out constantly? Like, why do I do these things? And like I said earlier, once you ask yourself these questions, you're halfway there to finding out the answer, you know? And feeling that energy in your body and identifying, like, I used to be very angry. And I was angry because when I moved here, I had to get my clothes out of the trash. I had to sell drugs and guns and shit just to have some money for myself, because my mom wasn't in a good place and my stepdad got locked up, and I wasn't talking to my dad at the time. I didn't tell him, you know, like, I just didn't think about it, I guess. And I was mad because I was getting my clothes out the trash and I had everything so hard, and there was these people at school who just complained, oh, my life's so hard, my parents took away my tablet. I took away my game console, you know? Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, bro, fuck you. Like, I'm gonna make your life a living fucking hell, you know? Like, and then I'd, like, start robbing people. I'd start finessing people. I'd hurt people. And that was not good of me, because whatever you put out into this universe, you will receive back. That energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be transferred, and it will come back to you. I promise you. I've gotten it back. And once I figured out why I was so mad, I was able to let it go, because you can't control. Identify what you can't control, but do what you can, you know? You can control how you react to it. You can control how you respond to something, you know? And I finally let that energy flow. I realized it wasn't anybody's fault, you know, like, I can't change it, so what's the point of holding on to it? I can't be mad at something that happened so far in the past that it'll just ruin me, you know? So I finally decided to let it go. Now I'm a very calm man. I choose happiness and peace a lot more than violence now, you know? Because everybody should be capable of violence, because if you are not capable of violence, you are not peaceful. You are harmless. Don't be harmless. You need to be capable of violence. You need to be capable to protect yourself, to protect the ones you love. That is what it means to be human, is to love others, to protect others, you know? And protect yourself. You need to protect yourself. So that's how I go about inner self-recollection, identifying, processing, and letting go. Because if you don't let go, no matter what facade that you put on, people can feel energy, and your energy will not be genuine if you do not evolve and grow as a person, you know? And finding one's purpose. I feel like as a kid, we all have a sense of purpose. You know, I brought mine back to how I felt as a kid. What did I want to do? I wanted to help people. I wanted people to feel needed, feel loved, because I didn't always feel like that. You know, I didn't always feel loved, needed, and heard. I didn't feel heard, you know? And that was a big one for me. And so it also goes with, what were you passionate about as a kid? We all start off with these big dreams, but then as we grow up, we get into this toxic cycle of just saying we can't. It's not possible, but it is possible. I promise you, anything that you put your mind to is possible. So think back to what you felt like as a kid. What was your dreams? What was your aspirations? And what did you want to bring to the world? And I feel like that's finding your purpose, because I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe Jesus died on the cross, you know? That's how I feel. But so this is how I feel about it. God put us these ideas in our brains, but not for no reason, just to act on them, you know? That's our purpose. What were you passionate about as a kid? And what did you want to bring to the people? Because we're here for the people. We're here to guide people. We're here to help. In my purpose, I loved music. I always loved music. But I also wanted to help people and make them feel heard. And so that's what I do with my platform. I talk to every single one of my fans, even if I get like a few hundred messages a day, and sometimes it's stressful. I can't respond to all of them, but I'll make my way around to them and I'll fucking talk to them, you know? So that's what my opinion is to finding your purpose, because we all have a sense of direction on where we're supposed to go. It's just, are you willing to put in that work? Last year, my second show, I had like 18 people there, right? My second show this year, after a year of fucking grinding, I had like 400 or 500 people in that crowd. And it wasn't even packed all the way yet. Like, you know, like a year of grinding and going towards what you want. Obviously, pay your bills, do the things that are responsible. If you are an adult, if you are a younger person or a kid, you have time. We all have time, right? Unless we are going to die the next day or the next hour or the next minute, we have time. But take those things, find your goal, and set little goals along the way. Because if you just have one massive goal and you never reach it, that's going to discourage you. But if you set little goals to get to this big goal, your dream, then that will no longer be a dream. That will be your reality. And everybody should strive towards their reality, to their desired reality. Because I promise you, once you discover the power of your mind, the power of everything, you will be able to attract the life that you want. And I say that so confidently. I promise you, you will be able to do whatever the fuck you want in this life. And I've discovered that with this past year.
In my dreams, you're here with me somehow.